Alright, so what I want to do today, I want to do something different. I want to give you the real sort of time that it takes to make something. So this is a part that we've made, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to wax it, I'm going to PVA it, I'm going to mix the gel coat, and I'm going to show you everything. So what I'll do is I'll just swing this camera around. You'll see this is our mixing station where we mix over there, and then I'll whip you back on there, and then you can see how we're actually making the part. So you can probably see this is a little bit shinier on this side and more dull on that side. This is the rear clamshell of a 911 or 930 Speedster. We've made this from scratch. Our mold was broken, so we had to make a new one. So we 3D printed it thanks to croc rods, and then we've fiberglassed it, and then we've done the body on it thanks to Rick. Now, what are we doing? We've got this mold release agent. This is the way we like to do it. I know there's a million different ways people do stuff. I'm just showing you how we do it. So we wax it, so we go through and we wax it. And what we do is we'll wax this at least 5 or 6 times. It doesn't take long to put the wax on. Just put the wax on like Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off. Alright, so we'll go through and we'll wax this. Now everyone might be asking, where's Davo? Let's just say he's preoccupied. As usual, he's gone for his morning release and left me here to do the work. So now, he'll be out here in a second. He's actually working on, so we've still got problems with getting some good quality shine down lights. The ones that we've been buying haven't been the best. They've been doing all sorts of silly things. So now we're just making our own. So he's been making those. We've got some orders going out. And I just wanted to show you how we're doing this. So we've already waxed. That's a couple waxes on that one side. I'm just rubbing that wax off. Now you're supposed to, technically, I think you're supposed to wait 20 minutes between these. Or something like that, so Dave tells me. We're putting so much release and we're putting the PVA on that I don't think you have to. So that's the first wax. That's what I would say is done. Now, we'll start again. We'll do another one. Alright? Just waxing it on. And you can see this is nothing exciting, this is just, I'm showing you the real time, okay? I thought maybe you would be interested, you know how we do time lapse and stuff and you see, oh far out, done straight away. Well, you're going to see the process that we have to go through. I'll spray on that PVA. Now the PVA is just that's your insurance policy, yeah? So when you spray on that PVA, it's like a really thin film, and you just guarantee that it's going to come off, and then you're going to be left with a beautiful mould. Davo's back. Davo, come say hi for the camera, man. Come on. People have missed you, mate. So, Davo, what did you say? You know when you said with the mold release, come on the camera, man. So when you said about the mold release, you're supposed to wax it on and then leave it for how long? 15 minutes or something? Let it sort of tack off a bit?
Let it flash.
Yeah, it's flashed. Alright, so I'm going through just giving that another wax. We're going to do this 6 times, yeah? We're going to put the PVA on. How long are you meant to leave the PVA?
For the drive.
Alright, I've been telling the guys what you've been doing with these shine down lights. Can you go bring it? Let's show them. Hey, Vic came before, huh? She goes, where's Davo? Now, I don't know, guys. I don't know if this is interesting to you or not. But I've just thought, let's try something different, you know? And in that way, you get to see what we're doing, how we're doing it. You can see the outlaw molds in the background there. You can see what we're working on behind Davo here. I'll flip the camera around in a minute. Come in, Dave. Come into the shop, man. Come into the shop. Let me just make sure you're in. Yeah, come right in. Come right in, because I want you to explain what you've done here, man.
I'm not explaining.
Yes, you are. Just hang on a second. I'm going to get the old ones. You tell them what we've done. Go. All fake. Fuck it.
We made it out of fiberglass.
That's my brother.
That's all we did.
And what else did you do, man? Alright, so I want to let's explain this backstory, yeah? So these shine down lights, they were out of stock for about, what, 2 years nearly? Anyway, we get them, you pay about $700 for that US. No, 600 US, wasn't it? Then you get them and look what happens to it. It goes all rusty, they're all stuffed, you know what I mean? Look at that. And that was off the blue car. So what do? We go, all right, I've promised that as part of the kit, you know, so what am I going to do? So we're going to make them. So what we did is we made the mold, okay? So that's the mold there, all right? We've made that mold, and then we make the casing. Wait, I'll get the casings. So these are the casings, okay? So we make them out of the fiberglass. That's super, super strong, all right? Super strong, look at that. And then, this is what Davo's done. Oh, then we made the silicone molds. So see that? That's a silicone mold and epoxy resin, the actual, what are they called again?
Lenses.
The lenses, yeah? So the epoxy resin lenses. So that's exactly what we've done. So now Dirty Dogs is making its own ones. Yeah, these are the first ones out of the mold. And then this is what Dave's gone and done. So he's made the mechanism that goes inside, which is, does that just come out now, Dave?
Screwed in.
Oh yeah, oh sorry. All right, so it's screwed in the same way that the standard one would be. It's got the shine down lights, it's got the 3 globes and the wiring. The only thing that's got to come with that now is the gasket. And we're gonna cut the gasket, so then you've got a shine down light with your kit, okay? And you'll have to either get that wrapped. You can actually have you seen those guys that do the what's it called when they anodize, like electroplate? So you can electroplate 3D parts now. So you can do that if you want the chrome look, or you can paint it, which we're just going to paint our ones. But yeah, that's the extent we've gone to. And you look at what, you know, just have a look. That's all made here at Dirty Dogs, you know what I mean? The whole thing is made here. I'm pretty proud of that. You did well, Davo. So that's it. So they'll come in the kit like that, with your lenses and stuff. Yeah, and then we're just going through like making all the bits. So this is the front intake mold now. So Dave used to make this out of steel. Now we're doing it out of heavy duty fiberglass, and we're using that, what's that, woven roven. So we put woven roven, so it's super strong but light as well, so it's not adding so much weight to your car. But that's the front intake, and then the rear air box. Yeah, so these are the finished parts. So you see that we've got, that's the front air dam. You can see the woven roven there, so super strong. And I reckon what you do is just trim that into 3, you reckon? Or just 2?
3 or 2.
Just leave a little strip maybe there, right? Just to give it some added strength, and that lets the air come up into the radiator. So that's in the kit, that's coming as a kit. A bit of an update of what we're doing. And then this is that rear air, what's it called? The air tray.
It's the airbox.
Yeah, so that's the airbox tray that goes on your boot lid. This one hasn't been trimmed up yet, but again, comes in one part and comes as part of the kit. The vents, these got lost in the fire. We had to remake them. We've made them now, and we're pushing out those vents as well for any customer that was waiting on them. For the customers that are waiting on them, we haven't forgotten you. We've gone through and made all of those. And that's where we're at. So now we're working on roof pods at the moment. We've got the Speedster 930 Speedster roof pod, and then we've got over there. I'll just spin this around. See over there? You can see we've got the roof pods there for the Outlaw. And we've got, you know, Dingo over there, and we've got another Outlaw. We've got a few customer jobs that we're getting out. So again, this is sort of real time, guys, where, you know, I'm showing you raw footage here. I'm not going to get Dave from Dave's Classic Garage Tours to do any sort of edit on this. What are you laughing about? Huh? Tell them what you're working on today.
The door handle mechanisms?
Yeah, we're doing door handle mechs. What are we going to do? You know, when we were talking about doing the rear roof bar. What are we going to do there?
Well, you're going to make another one, and then you can
No.
And then you want to make them out of fiberglass.
Yes. Okay. So this is another thing we're thinking. So it's a lot of work to make all this stuff handmade, right? Out of steel, you know, through the rollers and stuff, isn't it? Like, you've got to get the geometry right. You've got to have a car here basically to work on it, to test it against it, because you can't.
In and out, in and out, in and out.
Yeah. In and out, in and out. Filthy. Then, so what we've decided, we're going to make them out of fiberglass, which is good. You know, fiberglass is nice and strong. That's you know, a thick piece of fiberglass we're putting on there. And then what we're going to do is we'll show you how we mould that as well. But that we'll make a mould, and then we'll just produce them as part of the kit. So a few of the parts that originally were in steel, which, you know, I love steel. Davo, look at him, he loves steel. He loves making stuff out of steel. But it just makes sense for us to make those moulds now. Like the time, you know, you imagine the time involved in Davo making all these angles and making all that by hand and folding and that, compared to just having a mould. That's massive time saving, yeah, Davo. So,
I don't know.
what do you mean you don't know?
Not a massive time saver.
You don't reckon?
It's convenient.
Why? You telling me you reckon you can make one of those quicker than I can?
Yeah, in the drying time and all that too.
Yeah, but hang on a second. You're not standing around. You're not standing around for drying time, are you?
Yeah, but still you've got to wait
You
so you can make another one. I could pump out a few before you could even make two.
You reckon?
Yeah.
All right, but imagine now every day you have to make one, whereas I make one and it takes me 20 minutes to make one out of fiberglass. But you, right?
I
Take
can make 10 in a day easy.
You can make 10 of those in a day, easy.
Yeah.
Relax.
Oh, good.
You reckon?
Yeah.
All right, we'll have a challenge.
Give me a folder.
Oh, now you want a metal folder, you want all this stuff.
You just said to fold them, so.
We did fold that. Well, you know that one there, we did fold. You did it just manually, that's all.
Yeah, I trimmed down every edge so I could fold it, and then have to roll it.
Yeah. Oh. Now, you just see me just wax here. Wax on, wax off. I learnt this from Mr. Miyagi. He taught me how to do it.
Should be waiting in between.
I'm not waiting, no.
Waiting in between each wax.
Why?
Oh, you should.
Have we ever had a problem with delamination? It always comes off, doesn't it? You like when I use big words, huh? Alright, so we're just waxing. I'm going to do another 4 or 5 of these, and you're going to see every single one. And then I'm going to PVA. And then we have to wait. We have to wait for the PVA to dry. Now, has anyone ordered our merch yet? Like, we've got the new Outlaw Dingo. See our new Dingo? So this can just be ordered on our website, yeah? Just go on, order your merch, and it comes out to you directly. You know, you probably have it within a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. So get online and order your merch. Dave, you want them to order merch?
Yeah, get on. Order some merch.
Well, how come you never, when I give you merch for the family, you never take it home?
You don't give it to me.
Hey, you on your phone?
No.
Hey, so we're filming, right? And he's on his phone. That's what a hotshot movie star is. Alright, so you can see this is really well and truly waxed nicely. I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to do a couple more coats. Now, I'm sure there's people going to say, nah, you don't do it that way. I don't care. Do you understand? I'm doing it the way I want to do it. See this? This is my mould. Yeah? See this? This is my hard work and money that's gone into it. If you want to do it a different way, put your money down and do it your way. Alright? There's a million ways to do something. Alright? And then we'll just go through. Like this. Hey guys, I'm wrapped to be back. Let me tell you, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling positive. My boys are doing well. The missus is okay. And we're powering along. Davo is on his phone. What are you doing, man?
I was trying to prove you wrong.
What about the wax?
Yeah.
How can you want to prove me wrong?
You're not supposed to wait between coats.
You're not?
You are.
Yeah, we know that. It says it on the pack here.
Yeah,
What's it
see?
say?
Well, that's what I was looking for. It's
Oh, it's on the packet. It says to wait. If you want to wait, you can wait, I guess, but we're in a nice, dry, beautiful environment here. How good is Phillip Island, man? Has anyone been to Phillip Island? For all the people that are from overseas.
waiting 30 to 60 minutes between coats.
Yeah, that's how much. I've just time-lapsed it.
And when you apply, you're supposed to wait 5 to 10 minutes for it to come to a haze.
But it's hazing. Well, you can't see that's hazed. Alright, you go do some work. What are you doing today again? You're doing the door handle mix?
Yeah.
What else? Do something, mate.
I am, but you called me out here.
Yeah, I wanted you to be on camera so everyone knows that you're still alive, you know. You've got to come out here later, do an inspection. Yeah. So like Dave said, get online and order some merch. This I reckon is going to be an hour and a half. We're going to put this on for an hour and a half, and let's see if you like it. If you don't like it, I don't care. I'm going to do one of these a week. I mean, I do care because I want you to like what we do, but we'll still do like a normal, like a recap video and stuff. I was even thinking of doing live videos, but Dave from Dave's Classic Garage Tools, he was saying, oh, it's a bit hit and miss that, because the people have to be like on at that exact time, you know what I mean? So you might get people in the UK or maybe in America.
Well, you're going to be filming at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I'm not going to film it for. I'm saying like I was going to do this live. I was going to put it on live stream.
People in America and that would be fucking in bed or.
Well, what time is it in America? Is that a good thing?
What?
That they're in bed?
Not if you want them to watch.
Why? Hey Dave, can I just say something? I know for a fact, right, that dingo mould you did not wax it 6 times. And you did not wait between the coats.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. No. Don't talk rubbish, man.
At the moment in New York, it's 7:17.
At night,
Yeah.
shout out to Johansson. He's one of the guys that was waiting for the shine down light and the vents. He's got them now. I think it's a bit of a love-hate relationship with me and Johansson, but I got sick at one stage, so my missus had to take over. But it is what it is, man. We're real. We're not perfect. It's Dave and I here. I don't try to fake it and say, oh, we've got a million people here working for us. This is a couple guys building dream cars for people and prototyping and doing it real. And you're going to get to see it. Yeah. So we're just building cars. And whoever says that they're perfect and doesn't make mistakes is full of crap. Is that, how many coats is that? 4, 5?
It's one. Because you
It's
haven't-
not one coat.
Because you haven't waited. So it's still like you're on a good while.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Alright, so what do we do next? I'm not going to do it yet, but I want to show you. Alright, so can we see over there now? That's not really showing it. Alright, so that's the station there. Now, in here, we've just got water, yeah? See that? That's just water coming out there. PVA is water soluble. Now, what were you telling me about PVA? It's not dangerous or something.
It's non-toxic.
So PVA, don't like count that we know what we're talking about, but PVA is supposedly non-toxic. So I'm going to put a bit of PVA in here.
It's polyvinyl alcohol.
Polyvinyl alcohol.
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to drink it.
No, I wouldn't drink it.
Alright, so you can also get PVA in this sort of, see this in a tinted colour, but our supplier doesn't have it tinted anymore. They've got an oxide problem. So anyway, or whatever the stuff is. But, so just a clear solution, have a look at this in the pot. Alright. Alright, so that's ready. I've set up this gun, right? What are you laughing at? Where are you going? Alright, so Dave set up the gun, I'll be honest. So Dave set up this gun, and that's a, in here is the PVA, and that will spray that on in a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this another wax. Right, I'll put this up here. I want to give that another wax, and then I'm going to spray that PVA. I'm going to go for it, man. Look at this, this is looking magnificent. Right, one more wax. You can see, it's just a release agent wax. Now the people that are into composites and all of that, there's a lot of people with a lot more experience than us. I'll tell you that. And so there might be other products on the market that are easier for us to use and stuff. So I'd love to know about it. But this is what we know, okay? Now we've done that. We've built our Outlaw. We've built the Dingo. You know, we made, you know, a lot of kits. We've done a lot of parts, made a lot of parts and stuff. And so we, you know, yeah, we were at where we're at. So I'll tell you, when I started Dirty Dogs, I never had the intention of doing any fiberglassing. I didn't want to do fiberglass. I just wanted to do prototypes and sell kits, obviously. Make make stuff that's a bit more creative, I guess. But then, one of our suppliers that did our fiberglass, their factory burnt down. We lost some moulds in there, and we're at the point where we had to do something. So, I bought the machine, that Graco fiberglass machine, thinking that'll make our life easier, and it probably was a touch easier, but there's some quality issues, and those quality issues got nothing to do with that machine. I don't think. I think it's got to do with us. So we've gone back to hand laying, and until we get good enough working on that machine, we won't use it, because at the end of the day, I want the customers to be happy. And it is a little bit slower doing it. It's not so much just slower, it's a bit harder, like you've got to back it up day after day, I guess. I'm happy with this, yeah. Now, one of the guys, I know a guy, he's an absolute gun fiberglasser, and he told us, he goes, Tim, unless you're going to leave a finished part in gel coat, finished, so you're not going to paint it after, you're not going to do nothing, it's just going to be the gel coat. He goes, it's better to have a dull mould, because otherwise you got to go through and you got to sand through the sheen anyway of a shiny mould of gel coat. So I don't mind if our mould is a little bit dull, because every part of ours has to get rubbed back, primed and sanded in the end anyway. We're not making boats. For example, a boat mould has to be absolutely shiny and perfect and buffed and nice. Those carbon fibre moulds, they have to be the same. But our moulds, I'm happy with that. It's a low sheen, really. I'm really happy with the way this is looking. And you got to understand, a few weeks ago, this was just 3D parts, yeah. Gone through and made it really nice. And now I'm going to spray that PVA on here, and then it's going to be absolutely delicious. I'll turn on the compressor. So it'll be a bit noisy for a couple of minutes because we've got the compressor running. Over the line. Now, even though Dave says it's non-toxic, I'm going to still use a mask, a respirator. I just think it's good practice, man. We got them, so why not use them?
so we're just going to go through. I'm going to spray 2 coats. I'm going to spray this, let it dry, spray another one.
Alright, so that's 1 coat sprayed. Now you notice when I sprayed here, I like to spray under that edge as well of the mould, just because if a bit of fiberglass gets under there or whatever, it just helps that release of when we make it. So I like to just, in here, I just went a little bit under, sprayed that, and then you can hardly see it. So I recommend, if in your country or in your state, you can get the coloured blue one of the PVA, get it, because then you can see it go on. Here it goes on clear, you don't know if you've got it on or not. You know, like, so the coloured one is a good thing, but when it comes out of the mould, obviously, you see it on your mould, so you've got to wash that off. You've got to wash it off anyway. I guess it's neither here nor there, but this is clear. I do prefer the, I 100% prefer the blue one, but we can't get it. I got some, but you can't get it in here. Probably put it in the other one, and that'll give a bit of a tinge, regardless. So this is going to be a little bit boring now because we're waiting for this to flash off. That'll take a few minutes. I'll do another coat. Now, in the meantime, let's go over here. So in the meantime, alright, in the meantime we're working on the gel coat and stuff. I'll just move this out of the way a little bit. Alright, so this is the where we do the gel coat and that. So I've got that, this is cooling gel coat. I've just decanted into a drum, and this is what we'll use to use on that. We've got our catalyst, we've got our scales, got our brush, so we've got our PPE, so we're sort of ready to go, but obviously you've got to wait for that to flash off. In the meantime, I'm going to get some catalyst out, because I've run out of catalyst, so it's in the machine, so I'll get that out, and then I'm going to press pause for now, and I'm going to press play again in about 20 minutes, or record, not play. Alright guys, so I want to talk about like when we do the gel coat and the resin and that. So we've got the scales here, we just zero out the scales. We've got these, you know, these cups that you can pre-use. We just let the products like dry on that, and then they just crunch out. It's quite satisfying really when you hear it, like here, check this. So here you got, this is a gel coat one, and there's something really satisfying about cracking that out, and then that just comes out. We use air, and that'll just fly out of here, you know. So that's how that comes off, and it cleans off really easy. We normally use air and it'll just pop out, but you can see it wants to come out now. Comes out just in those strips, and then you're left with a perfectly clean cup. And when you do it with air, it takes 1 second to do it, just go, and it pops out. So that's what we use, reusable cups. Then, this is no game, yeah? So when you're using catalyst, right, and when you're using resin, if you get it in your eyes, if it goes in your eyes, it's going to kill you, right? It absolutely destroys you. So eyewear is really important. Gloves are important. So it's important that you use your safety stuff. The other thing that is an absolute must is eye wash. So you should have an eye wash station, which we've got in the toilet there. But we've also got this emergency eye wash where put it on your eye and it'll help flush your eye out. It's a sodium chloride solution. That is an absolute must. Okay, so make sure, you know, we've got them stationed all over the shop. So wherever you are, you don't have to go far to get it and get that solution out of your eyes if it gets in there. The trick is don't have it get in there. What else can I tell you? So this is what we use to mix on the small scale. So when you're doing a small mix, we just use that. This is just a mixer that we bought from the op shop, and then our Makita drill. You know, we'll mix all day with that, and it's fine. And then we've just got a little bucket here that will just clean that off, and that's done. Right? So that, and then you can just do your next mix. We've got some acetone. We've got a little rubbish bin here with acetone in it, because acetone evaporates, so it's good to have your tools in acetone, and then they're kept, you know, reasonably clean. And yeah, this is the scales that we use. So we just put them on here, bang, zero out. So now it doesn't calculate the actual little drum or little mixing tub. And then when we put the gel coat in there, you'll get a true reading. Then we've got this. You see, if you have a look at that, it just tells you, you know, 10 mil, 20 mil, 30 mil, 40 mil, 50, 60, so on. And that's how you work it out, what goes in there. So that's how we're going to mix the gel coat. You're going to see that in a minute. What we've gone through and done is we've done the 2 coats. Have a look over there. Can you see that? Can we see? You're sort of looking straight into light there, but so we've done the 2 coats on the on that clamshell, and then I want to maybe we'll talk about this now. So as part of the mold for the clamshell, we've gone ahead, and this is just a piece of junk that we had lying around, but it's a little stand, and we're going to fiberglass that stand into here, and then that's going to act as the feet of the mold. So the mold not only gives it strength to the mold, but it also helps you to position the mold where you want it and set it nicely on the table. So that's just a little thing. If you're ever at an op shop or a tip shop and stuff, this stuff, little stuff like this comes in really handy, you know. And it means you don't have to make it. It's already made. You don't have to stuff around with making a timber frame or anything along those lines. Yeah, so this long form stuff, I bet it could probably get boring, but maybe it's interesting for you. You'll get to see, you know, like how it's done. Between the last video and this video, it's only been probably 15 minutes. So we've done 2 coats on this. We've waxed it, obviously you saw that in real time. And then I've gone through, and I was just telling you about the gel coat. And then next is we'll mix the gel coat, put it on, and yeah, we're ready to go. Davo, let's go see what Davo's doing. Oh, we'll leave Davo over there. He's working away on the door handle things. You can see over in the background we've got those roof pods in the background there. We've got the dingo sitting in the back there. We've got Yeah, we've got a fair bit on here at the moment. And then we've got the dingo, the prototype dingo out there. Might go get that. So that's another flare that we've had 3D printed by Croc Rods. You can see that here's fibre reinforced the inside of that, and then what we'll do is we'll put the fiberglass tissue over the top of this, and then we'll fiberglass that in. Then we'll actually fit this to the car, make sure everything fits nice, and then we'll do the bodywork over the top of that. But that's a flare. You're going to see a lot more of the dingo. We're going to continue with that. Like I said, I'm back. The family's doing well, so we'll just continue while we can. And what else can I tell you? If you need anything made in fiberglass, it's not too big, something custom, we could probably do that for you. But we're not a fiberglass manufacturer as such. I'm here building dreams, really, building my dreams, building customer dreams. But yeah, we're at the moment, customer asked us to make him a Speedster windscreen, so we've gone and made him a squatted Speedster windscreen. Dave's done an awesome job with the frame inside of that. I'll do a video on that later. This is the Speedster Clamshell. I want to do a 930. I've got the mould, I might as well use them. But we've got a lot of orders and a couple jobs to get out. We've got Wayno's job, which we've had a few issues with, that we've got to get that sorted and out. And then we've got Shiraz coming down. He's bringing a SLK. We're going to do something special too. And yeah, I'm very, very excited. Yeah, so Dirty Dogs is going. Busy, I'll tell you that. I'm stressed off my head, but it's a good stress, I guess. If you're not busy, then that's a bad stress. Oh, did you guys see that? Can you see? Can you see that half scale there? That half scale's basically done. We're going to mould that next, so I'll do a video of how we're going to mould that, and we'll do start to end. That's just there. That's it there. But I'll do a video next on that one. Alright, I might pause. I'm going to pause. Okay, this is going to be, so it's still long form, but you don't want to just stand around and wait to watch that dry. So I'll pause this, and then the next one will be me doing the gel coat mix and actually putting gel coat on there.